Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today we're unpacking a really imaginative source. It's titled The Family Picnic Time Machine by Imagination Station 36. Now, on the surface, this might sound like maybe a kid's story, right?
Yep.
Whimsical stuff. But our mission today is actually to dig into its surprising depth. We're going to try and uncover how a seemingly ordinary family outing can actually be a profound lesson. A lesson in creativity, intergenerational learning, and, well, the incredible power of just reframing our everyday experiences. What's really hidden in a story about a picnic that's also a time machine.
Well, what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how a simple, really playful narrative shows us the deep insight, profound experiences. They aren't just for complex subjects or like elaborate setups.
Right.
It's really about a fundamental shift in perspective and maybe a willingness to embrace the absurd,
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that then. The story kicks off at Dandelion Hill, and the Tinker family's annual picnic takes this immediate left turn. Grandma Tinker doesn't just show up with a basket, right?
Yeah.
He arrives with this creaky, clunky
Yeah.
contraption covered in ketchup bottles, alarm clocks, a giant beach umbrella, the works.
Yeah.
And Mom's initial reaction, just pure skepticism. She just sees, quote, a wobbly table on wheels.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it? How often we, maybe like Mom Tinker, just dismiss something truly innovative
Yeah.
or, creatively liberating just because it seems a bit, well, ridiculous.
Yeah.
The story immediately highlights that tension,
Yeah.
between conventional thinking and playful potential.
And then Grandpa Tinker reveals the secret to his contraption. He says it's powered by potato salad and fueled by laughter. What's the sort of subtle genius in that, do you think, beyond just the humor?
Well, it's a brilliant conceptual move, I think. It implicitly tells us the real fuel isn't mechanical at all, it's internal. Potato salad, right?
Yeah.
Like the quintessential picnic item. It represents the ordinary, what's already there.
Mhm.
And laughter. That signifies joy, connection, that sort of uninhibited spirit of play. The story is suggesting that the raw materials for these extraordinary experiences, they're often already within our grasp. If only we're willing to reimagine their purpose.
Right. Reimagine. So, okay, with these very unconventional power sources, the launch is just as bizarre and wonderful. The mustard bottle glows, the soda fizzes like a volcano, and that beach umbrella spins like a helicopter, whisking the family away in this swirl of sandwich crumbs and time sparkles. It's chaotic, sure, but sounds exhilarating.
That's fine.
Now, the Tinkers aren't just going to one time period. They're really zipping around. First stop, the Stone Age. And get this, they end up sharing watermelon with a vegetarian T-Rex.
Vegetarian T-Rex.
Yeah. And then, with a POP, they land in ancient Egypt. And great-great-great-grandma Tinker apparently wins a hummus eating contest against a pharaoh.
Okay, so if we connect this to the bigger picture,
Mm-hmm.
these aren't just like funny scenes, are they? The vegetarian T-Rex isn't just a quirky detail. It's kind of a subtle prompt, isn't it? To challenge our preconceived notions.
How so?
Well, it forces us to consider that history, even prehistory, it isn't always as rigid or predictable as we might imagine. It asks, what if?
Mm.
And Grandma winning a hummus contest against a pharaoh, that kind of breaks down the perceived solemnity of historical figures.
Makes them relatable.
Exactly.
Relatable.
It's like a form of playful historical empathy. The story makes learning really interactive and surprising, rather than just, passively observing.
Exactly. It's active.
Right.
And their final destination is way out there, the year 3025. Robots serving spaghetti, bees wearing bow ties. But what I found particularly insightful, beyond just the whimsy, is how these journeys are sort of cemented. They don't just experience them. They bring back tangible souvenirs. Dinosaur dandelions and a solar-powered spoon.
Oh, that's important. Those souvenirs, they act as anchors, don't they? They represent the integration of these new experiences, this new knowledge, into their present reality. It's not just some fleeting adventure. The lessons and the memories, they have a physical manifestation. It underscores that even these imaginative journeys can leave, lasting impressions and practical insights too.
For sure. And eventually they land back at Dandelion Hill. A little dizzy, okay, but just overflowing with stories and snacks. Dad's even wearing a crown made of lasagna noodles from the future.
Love that detail.
Right. And Grandpa Tinker's final wink, hinting about space nachos for next time. It just leaves you with this feeling that discovery isn't like a one-off event. It's ongoing. Infinite, maybe.
Yeah, the potential's always there.
So after this fantastical picnic, what are the actionable takeaways for us, for you listening, about knowledge and creativity? This source, despite its playful exterior, it really delivers some pretty profound insights. One that immediately jumped out at me is how it makes it clear that history and imagination, they aren't separate subjects.
That's spot on. Yeah. The story isn't just saying make history fun, though it does that too. It's suggesting something deeper. That imagination is actually a tool for historical inquiry, for understanding. By mentally stepping into a historical context, even one with a vegetarian T-Rex,
Right.
you engage with it actively. You start asking, what if? And that what if can lead to deeper empathy, maybe new questions, a more nuanced understanding of complex pasts. It moves beyond just, memorizing dates and facts.
Yeah, makes it alive. Okay, another powerful lesson embedded here is how family time, which we often see as just recreational, right? How that can be a really profound space for learning and adventure.
Absolutely. This challenges the idea that learning only happens in, like, school or structured environments. The family picnic itself becomes this collaborative learning expedition.
Yeah.
It highlights how shared experiences, especially when they're fueled by play and curiosity, can naturally bridge, say, intergenerational knowledge gaps.
Interesting.
Yeah, the adults are learning from grandpa's whimsical approach, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the kids are internalizing concepts about different eras,
hmm
all within this context of connection and fun.
Okay. And finally, the story brilliantly illustrates how creativity can just transform even the most mundane activities,
Yeah.
like a picnic, into something truly unforgettable.
Totally. And this isn't just about adding sparkle for the sake of it. It's about recognizing that creativity often thrives within constraints.
Sure.
You have a picnic, it's a set activity, maybe limited resources. But by applying this imaginative lens, by deciding, to make a time machine out of everyday objects,
hmm
they transcend those limitations. It really asks us to look at our own daily routines, doesn't it?
Mm.
And consider what seemingly ordinary object or activity, if we approached it with just a dash of mustard-powered imagination,
hmm
could be our next unexpected adventure, or maybe even a breakthrough.
Right. That's a great way to put it. The story's explicit lesson summarizes it so beautifully, too. When you mix curiosity, laughter, and a little mustard-powered imagination, even a family picnic can take you through time.
And that, I think, is the real core nugget of wisdom here, the true time machine. It isn't the physical contraption Grandpa Tinker built, fun as it sounds.
Yeah.
It's that unique combination, an open, curious mind, the joy of shared experience, and the courage to see the extraordinary potential hiding in the ordinary. It really encourages us to cultivate these internal engines, because they're real pathways to new insights, to limitless exploration.
This deep dive into the family picnic time machine, it really reminds us that true adventure, profound learning, it isn't always found in grand expeditions or complex research projects. Often it's right there in the most unassuming places, just waiting for us to bring our curiosity, our laughter, and yeah, a generous splash of imagination.
Exactly. So maybe as you go about your day, consider this. What time machines do you already possess in your own life? What seemingly mundane objects or routines or even conversations? If you approach them with a renewed sense of wonder, maybe a dash of that playful imagination could transport you. Transport you to surprising insights, unexpected knowledge, or maybe just some unforgettable adventures right where you are.